You can take the guest room or just move out, Mom said, sipping her coffee like she was asking me to pass the creamer. Josie, already kicked back on my couch, flipping through her phone, looked up with that fake sweet influencer smile and added, Honestly, Lee, if you're gone by the weekend, that'd be great. Brent needs space for his gaming setup. I stood in the doorway, still holding my work bag, keys cutting into my palm, waiting for the just kidding. It never came, so I moved out. 3 days later, Josie's smug little grin was gone, and she was full-on screaming at Mom in an empty house that echoed like a cave. She's lying, right? Tell me she's lying. Spoiler, I wasn't lying. Drop your city and the exact moment your family treated you like the live-in help in the comments. I'm reading every single one. My name is Lila, 28, and for the last 5 years I've been the unpaid super, therapist, chef, landscaper, and walking ATM of the house my dad rebuilt right before his heart gave out on him. One week we were standing in the unfinished kitchen laughing about backsplash tiles and how he was finally gonna have the garage of his dreams. The next week I was sitting next to Mom while she stared at walls like they personally betrayed her. Funeral was a rainy Friday blur. Josie flew in wearing Chanel sunglasses indoors, a silk scarf, and the kind of grief that photographs well. She sobbed loud enough for the entire cemetery to get the performance, posted a black and white selfie with the caption, "Forever my hero," and was wheels up back to her perfect life by Sunday brunch. I stayed. Somebody had to. Mom was a ghost, mortgage wasn't paid off, and Dad's literal last words to me were, "Take care of your mom, Lee. Promise me." So I did what good daughters do. I hit pause on my entire 20s and moved into the role of full-time crisis manager. I turned down the Seattle promotion that came with a corner office and a fat relocation bonus. I declined the company's subsidized apartment with a 15-minute commute and the gym in the basement. I canceled vacations, dates, concerts, happy hours, all of it. Every time I even mentioned maybe moving out, Mom would do that heavy, dramatic sigh and say, "I guess I'll just figure it out alone," which in our house translated to, "Don't you dare leave me." So I stayed. Paid the mortgage, scrubbed the gutters, fixed the leaky faucet, cooked dinner every night, listened to the nightly comparisons about how Josie lights up a room while I apparently dressed like I'm testifying in front of Congress. I gritted my teeth, Venmo'd the electric bill, and told myself if I just kept showing up, one day she'd finally see me. One day I'd be enough. Plot twist. I never was. Then one random Thursday I walked in 2 hours late from work because of a shipping delay, and the whole vibe was off. Josie was curled on my couch, fake crying into a mountain of tissues, Brent sitting next to her, scrolling TikTok like he was waiting for a different Uber, and Mom was fluttering around with a tray of shortbread cookies and fancy tea like the royal family just landed. "Guess who's back?" Mom chirped, beaming. I could see exactly who was back. Brent got downsized 2 months ago. He just hadn't told anyone until the eviction notice. They were behind on rent, maxed out 3 credit cards, and the landlord gave them 14 days to vacate. Mom wrapped an arm around Josie like she was made of blown glass. "So they're moving in with us." I blinked so slow you could have counted the seconds. "I live here." "You'll figure something out," Mom said, waving me off like I was the intern who forgot copies. "You're good at that." Josie gave a tiny shrug and mouthed, "Sorry." But the little smirk dancing at the corner of her lips told the real story. She was already mentally redecorating. That night I cornered Mom in the laundry room while she folded Josie's silk pajamas like they were museum pieces. "This house is barely big enough for 2 adults, Mom. 4 people? Where exactly are we all sleeping?" She didn't even look up. "Your room. You can take the guest room or move out. Whatever's easiest for you. I always wanted Josie back home." My stomach dropped so hard I swear I heard it hit the tile. "I've been paying the mortgage for 5 years. She finally met my eyes and shrugged. "Title's in my name. You act like you're doing me some huge favor. I never asked you to stay. After your dad died, I was a mess and you couldn't handle it. Now I have Josie back. I don't need you anymore." It felt like she slapped me with her bare hand and then smiled about it. Next morning, Josie knocked on my door, voice all sunshine and oat milk latte. "Hey, Mom says if you can be out by Saturday, that'd be awesome." Brent and I kind of need the space for his gaming rig and my ring light. I shut the door in her face, sat on the edge of my bed, and stared at the manila folder on the shelf I hadn't touched in 4 years. HR paperwork, company housing, studio apartment, safe neighborhood, 15-minute commute, move-in bonus, fully furnished option available. My hand only shook a little when I opened it. I made the call. By Friday afternoon, I had keys, an approved transfer, and a moving crew booked for Saturday morning. I packed in total silence while they argued over paint swatches for their new kitchen and whether a sectional or an L-shaped couch would look better in their living room. Saturday morning, the moving truck rolled up at 8 a.m. sharp. I stood in the driveway in jeans, hair in a messy ponytail, clipboard in hand like a boss. The crew was 3 guys who clearly thought this was going to be a quick job. Joke's on them. We took everything. Bed frame, mattress, box spring, dresser, nightstands, desk chair, bookshelves, every book, every framed print, the 55-inch TV, the soundbar, the PlayStation I never used, the couch, the coffee table, the dining table with all 6 chairs, every rug, every lamp, every throw pillow, every pot, pan, spatula, wine glass, plate, bowl, the Keurig, the toaster, the microwave, the full-size fridge, the area rugs, the curtains on curtains, the curtain rods, the shower curtain, the bath mat, the towels, the toilet brush. Everything that wasn't nailed down, and even a couple things that required a drill. Took my sweet time. Every box felt like exhaling 5 years of swallowed words. Every piece of furniture felt like shedding skin. By noon, the house looked like a crime scene from a very specific robbery. Dust outlines on the hardwood where furniture used to live, random screws on the floor, echoes bouncing off bare walls. One of the movers paused in my old bedroom, looked around at the absolute nothingness, and raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, you really taking it all?" I smiled, calm as hell. Every last screw, every light bulb, every cabinet knob, all purchased with my paycheck, delivered on my days off, assembled by me. "Load it up, King." The truck pulled away at 2 p.m. I turned in the keys to staff housing and walked into my new studio like I was stepping onto another planet. Small, bright, quiet, brand new paint smell, windows that actually opened, water pressure that could strip paint, fridge that didn't sound like it was dying of tuberculosis. I sat on the bare mattress the company provided, looked around at boxes stacked neatly with labels in my handwriting, and cried for maybe 30 seconds. Then I laughed. Then I ordered Thai food and watched the city lights from my tiny balcony like a free woman. That night my phone exploded. Missed calls, caps lock texts, voicemails from Mom, Josie, even Brent trying to play mediator. I let it all go straight to voicemail, made chamomile tea in my own mug, and slept 12 hours straight for the first time in years. Monday morning they showed up at my job. Front desk buzzed down. Leela? Your mom and sister are in the lobby demanding to speak to you." I almost laughed out loud. I never gave them the new address. Stayed in the loading dock eating a granola bar until security escorted them out. That evening, I decided to swing by the old house one last time, let myself in with the spare key I never returned. Living room dark, porch light flickering like it was on its last leg. Mom and Josie in the kitchen looking like they'd aged a decade in 72 hours. Mom didn't even say hello. "What the hell did you do to this house?" "What you told me to do," I said, calm as lake water. "I moved out." "You cleaned the place out. There's no fridge, no table, not even the damn toaster." "All purchased with my paycheck," I repeated slow. "Delivered on my days off, assembled by me. Y'all just assumed it was communal property." "Cute. Mistake." Josie stepped forward, face red, eyes wild. "We didn't think you'd take literally everything." "Y'all didn't think, period." Then Josie went nuclear. "What about Dad's insurance money?" 40 grand. Gone. What did you do with it? I laughed soft. That money's been gone 4 years, Josie. I've been covering mortgage, property taxes, utilities, Mom's little bathroom reno, your wedding Lexus, all of it. Those deposits you saw? My paycheck. Every month. For 5 years. Josie spun to Mom, voice cracking like glass. She's lying, right? Tell me she's lying. Mom looked at the floor and said nothing. Josie's eyes went wide with betrayal. You told me the insurance was still there, that we could use it to pay off the cards, get Brent back on his feet, start over. That's why we came back, Mom whispered. I thought we'd figure it out later. Later? Josie screamed, voice echoing off the bare walls. That's all you ever say. You lied to get me here. Brent hadn't come home since the day I moved. Apparently he was crashing with somebody until things cooled down. Josie had maxed out another credit card buying temporary furniture that never got delivered. Mom had exactly $37 in her checking account and a stack of overdue notices. House still had 6 years left on the mortgage, and the only person who'd been paying it just pieced out. Josie held up a torn manila envelope like evidence in court. It's empty. Completely empty. Been empty since 2021, I said. Mom collapsed into a kitchen chair that wasn't there anymore and buried her face in her hands. What are we supposed to do now? I laid a white envelope on the bare counter. Last mortgage statement, highlighted in neon yellow. Loans in your name, Mom. 6 more years. Fixed rate. Payments are $1,147 a month. Not bad unless you're unemployed and broke. Josie snapped. You can't expect us to pay this. I don't expect anything anymore, I said. I'm done expecting. I walked out. Door clicked shut behind me like the final period on a 5-year prison sentence. 4 weeks later, the house hit the market. Sat empty for 2 weeks. Took a lowball offer that was still $20,000 under asking. Word on the street is they're crammed in a 1-bedroom apartment across town that smells like old pizza and broken dreams. Josie slings croissants part-time at a bakery. Mom answers phones at a dentist's office for $12 an hour. Brent is still talking to a guy about a job in sales. Meanwhile, my studio is cozy as hell. Plants on every surface. Fridge stocked with stuff I actually like. No passive-aggressive comments about my jury duty wardrobe. Manager offered me lead supervisor last week. I said yes. This morning I hit the bougie cafe Mom used to call pretentious, ordered a cappuccino and avocado toast, read an entire chapter without interruption, and caught myself smiling like a whole idiot for no reason. They kicked me out thinking I was the disposable one, the placeholder, the live-in help. Turns out I was the foundation, the furniture, the Wi-Fi password, the emergency fund, and the only thing keeping that house from foreclosure. Now they got each other and a pile of bills, and I got peace, a promotion, and a life that finally belongs to me. And yo, this ain't the end of Lila's story. It's the damn pilot episode. 8 months later, I'm running my own crew, closed on a cute downtown condo with a balcony big enough for a grill and Sunday brunch with people who actually see me. Josie. Crickets. Mom sent one text. Hope you're well. Left it on red. Some bridges you burn, then roast marshmallows on the flames. I turned the guest room they tried to shrink me into a whole-ass life that takes up space, makes noise, and refuses to apologize. So tell me, when did your family try to move you to the garage and you decided to take the whole damn house instead? City, the line they crossed, the day you packed your piece and left. Drop it all below. I'm reading every comment, replying to the real ones because your story might be the match that lights someone else's fuse. Let's keep the glow-up revolution rolling. You deserve the whole house, not the leftovers. Peace out, stay taking up space, and never leave your keys where they can change the locks. Catch y'all on the flip.